Hello everybody. Today a little bit longer video about Germany, the opportunity card in Germany. Why Germany? It is still the biggest economy in Europe, one of the biggest in the world, and actually a lot of South Africans are interested to go to Germany, and Germany actually recently really overhauled their immigration system and trying to make themselves more attractive for skilled foreigners coming to Germany. And yeah, today I'm joined by Hannah, who's based in Johannesburg, and she's our expert on Germany. So Hannah, what's the opportunity card?
So the opportunity card is the last big piece in this overhaul of the German immigration system, and it is a new type of job seeker visa, meaning a visa for people who do not have a job offer, but who want to move to Germany for the purpose of looking for employment, and if they find employment, then setting them on a pathway to permanent residence.
Now that's super interesting because, I mean, we know that South Africa had it in the critical skills, job seeker. We abolished it, obviously. And I mean, practically for foreigners, it's always so difficult to find a job while being still in South Africa, right? So this is really cool. So, sorry.
No,
continue.
exactly. It's Germany essentially rewarding people who have the potential and opportunity to contribute to the economy, enabling them to come to Germany and look for a job there.
Cool. So how does it work? What's the criteria, or how do you qualify?
Yes.
Who can qualify?
Okay, so it's important to keep in mind there's essentially two ways of qualifying. One is the existing people who already qualified for the 6-month job seeker visa. Those are people who are recognized as skilled professionals. They have either a recognized bachelor qualification or recognized vocational training.
Okay, so either they were qualified already, that's bachelor, or the recognized training, they would qualify already.
Exactly.
What's the other person, or the other criteria?
Yes. The other criteria is the points-based system. And this is quite an elaborative system that allocates a variety of points across a variety of factors. It starts with two basic requirements. So the basic requirements is you still need to hold a completed qualification, formal qualification of at least 2 years. It does not need to be recognized, and it would, for example, cover a national diploma, which previously was not covered.
So it can't be matric, obviously.
Exactly.
So you go to college, do a national diploma.
Yes.
So you don't need a bachelor degree.
You do not need a bachelor degree. And then the other main requirement is that you have either German A1 language skills or English B2. Now, for South Africans, English B2 will most likely and for most people easily be met. So those are the basic requirements. Then on that we build the point system.
But that's quite low criteria. I mean, it's a 2-year degree, or diploma, and you speak English, and most Africans do.
Exactly.
Okay,
exactly.
So how does it continue then? Because obviously there's more in the scorecard,
exactly.
I guess.
That's the basis in order to essentially get your foot into the door of gathering points.
Yes.
Then there's a variety of factors to get points. One is whether you have a partial recognition of your qualification. The other ones that we have is the professional experience, or your work experience, your German language skills, your English language skills. So if you can prove English language at C1, you can get an additional point. And then your age is another requirement, and there's some other requirements as well.
Okay, so age is easy. How do you prove the language skills? I mean, do you need to do a test or something like in the US or Australia? I think they also have very high language.
Yes, the language skills do need to be proven by a recognized certificate, even the B2. So we have now seen the new checklist published by the German embassy in South Africa, and they do require the language test certificate for all languages.
And then where do you do that? At Goethe Institute or where? I mean,
so your German language skills are at Goethe Institute. There's also I think the Austrian Council that offers one.
Okay.
And your English language skills are the traditional English tests, your TOEFL counts, as well as anything else from the Association of English Language Tests.
Okay, cool. All right, good. And just because I know when it comes to Germany, it's always the biggest problem is always these acknowledged trade qualification or acknowledged qualifications. Maybe you can just explain that a little bit more, because on that point, why acknowledged and partly acknowledged, and who acknowledges it?
So in Germany, there's a for university qualifications, there's a online database which has essentially rated qualifications, whether they're equivalent or not. Importantly, only honors qualifications are immediately recognized as equivalent, although bachelors are usually also assessed as equivalent on an individual basis.
Okay.
And then for vocational training, it's really, really complex. And this is where we have a big benefit, because currently that practice of getting it recognized is really unworkable.
Okay. Good. Okay, continue. Sorry,
I'm
asking too many questions.
To round off the requirements, you're also looking at age. Essentially, anybody under the age of 40 gets points, and under the age of 35 can get the maximum points.
Okay.
And if you've previously lived in Germany, you can get additional points. And also, if your partner already qualifies, so your spouse or registered life partner already qualifies for an opportunity card, that also adds a point for you, so that essentially you get the benefit of Germany being able to attract 2 skilled people at the same time. So you need 6 points.
Out of?
Just these
these
criteria give you various elements, and you need 6 points.
Yes, okay.
Now, the points calculation is very complex. It's nothing that can be done in a video like this, but there is an online self-check that can be used. And obviously, once you've done that check, you can reach out to us and we can help you discuss further how you can increase your points or how you can start the application.
Okay. Where do you apply then, and what's the next procedure? So let's say you do the self-test, you meet the criteria first site. What do you do then?
So then it's an aspect of preparing the documents, everything needed to support, of course, the points you are claiming. You also need to prove that you have sufficient funds to cover yourself in Germany. That is roughly €1,000 per month.
Okay.
And you need to show as many funds as the duration you're applying for. The maximum duration is 1 year, but if you want to apply for a shorter duration because you don't have the funds for a whole year, you can do that.
So 6 months, €6,000, 12 months, €12,000.
Exactly. And the great news, that is also a big change compared to the previous job seeker visa, is that you are able to conduct part-time work of up to 20 hours per week while looking for a job in Germany in any field. And that part-time work can be part of funding your stay if you can show that you have a job offer.
And I mean, I get a lot of questions asked always, but how long does it take me to find a job in Germany, right? So I think compared to South Africa at least, yes, there are recruitment agencies, but a lot is done online. There are very, very potent portals. There is the Arbeitsamt, which is the labor department, but they have a very secure database, or a very good database. So I think once you're in Germany, it's actually shouldn't take too long to really find a job. I mean, we're not talking about 10 months. We're talking probably about 2 or 3 months, or maybe 4, if depending where you are. Obviously, in the big cities, it's easier to find than maybe on the countryside. But I do think once you're there, it's actually quite quick.
Exactly. Yeah. And one of the last features, which is quite neat about the opportunity card, is that you have the option of working 2 weeks full-time on a trial basis for employers, so that you could really also test if it's a good fit without going through the whole work permit application and maybe then discovering that it's not a good fit.
Okay.
So those are the main requirements. You also need health insurance cover, and that is something that most of the time, together with your financing, can be there's a lot of providers that will be able to provide that, but of course it is a kind of financial side to consider in this endeavor. And then the application will be submitted through the embassy or consulate in South Africa, and you get that 1 year or whichever duration you applied for visa.
Cool. So obviously we can help with the health insurance and we can help with the visa. So if you are young, under 35 at least, okay, and maybe even lived in Germany and you speak German and English, have a 2-year degree or diploma off to Germany, you can actually work in Germany, find a job, work part-time while finding a job. So it's very liberal, very modern, very cool. So try it out. Actually, it's better than the reputation internationally, and in the big cities, I think you get along with English quite well, and then you learn German in another language. So enjoy it, and please contact us for further information if you need our assistance. Cheers. Thank you, Anna.
Thank you.